Good evening, and welcome to the presentation of Gordon Elliott Williams of Post University, student for the Master of Interdisciplinary. My capstone project is the Pure and Clean Recycling and Water Purification Company. The purpose of this paper is to show that the garnering of funds to invest in an independent study and the nonprofit to handle the tainted water in the urban areas and the growing recycling process. In most recent news, it's come to be noticed that the main problem areas for tainted water in the United States have been New Jersey, Georgia, Mississippi, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. The main noted reasons for this pollution in our drinking water can be attested to industrial pollution, agricultural runoff, aging infrastructure of the plants, and inadequate treatment methods. Due to these inadequacies, the impact of these pollutants can affect us all with severe health consequences, such as, but not limited to, gastrointestinal illnesses, reproductive problems, neurological disorders, and certain types of specific cancers. The most recognized issues would be the aging infrastructures, which can lead to leaks, contaminants in the water, and inadequate filtration. Another issue would be the numerous contaminants that are coming through the aging infrastructure, such as heavy metals of lead and arsenic, various pesticides, and other pharmaceuticals. Other problems affecting our water, as we addressed, would be unrecycled plastics and waste. This is usually resulting in environmental degradation, a waste management crisis, and also unrecycled plastics take hundreds of years to decompose, which can affect our ecosystem, our wildlife, and our marine life. As a personal testimony, one reason I selected this as my term project is because I am originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And during my time there before moving to Georgia, we had a crisis, many known as the cryptosporidium crisis of 1993, where we were unable to drink the water for a year or so. It was the largest epidemic of any waterborne disease in the U.S. history. And the main reason for this was because we had two plants that had failed due to their age. The results of this was over about 69 deaths, and we had 510 million in repairs and upgrades. One way to attempt to resolve this issue was for me to try to create a nonprofit that would handle the recycling and the water purification in one plant. The name of this company that I proposed would be Pure and Clean Plastic Recycling and Water Purification. The focus of this plant, uh, I feel, would be to not invent the wheel, but simply look at wheels that are already working well. I found this by, in my travels of the world, the most successful desalination and purification plants were in Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Dubai, and Israel. They have the most successful and world-renowned plants handling their water purification. And it's mainly because they fuel their plants by fossil fuels and repurpose plastic waste. As an MBA student at Post in Interdisciplinary, one of my classes we learned was SMART goals. And with our SMART goals, I've decided that I set three main goals of my many SMART goals in this project. One would be by 2030 to reduce water pollution levels by 50% in those affected areas. In 2025, I would like to increase the percentage for urban households with access to safe drinking water by 100%. I know that's a little advantageous, but it's a goal. And lastly, by 2030, I would like to incrementally implement infrastructure upgrades to reduce contamination levels below our current EPA standards. Also, in my finance class, I did learn a lot about investing and finance. And right now, water seems to be the next big thing other than cryptocurrency. Currently, desalination projects are projected to hit around 3.5 billion in its own industry by 2025. I propose through my research that we find the largest partners in the world, such as everybody from Coca-Cola to Fiji to Aquafina and United Utilities, to try to garner funds from and for investing. Here you will see an attached diagram showing the compound annual growth of water treatment, and they predict it to increase 4.5% per year. And in 2022, it was at 14.48 billion. The reason why it's a positive and a negative. The negative is it's going to grow because of rapid urbanization, rising economic development. There's more people, more housing, more waste, and expanding industrial activity. On the other side of our investment opportunity, the plastic recycling. Right now, America does not process the vast majority of their recyclables. We ship our recyclables mostly to poor countries, and we pay these countries for taking our recyclables. The two best examples I have would be Canada and Mexico, who both receive more than 80,000 metric tons of our plastic, and we pay them between 17 and 23 billion dollars to take our plastic. That in itself could be monies reinvested here in the United States in our own plants of around 45 to 50 billion dollars. Also, in my research, as I was stating earlier, instead of trying to tackle a problem by reinventing the wheel, I looked at the most successful companies in the world who are already doing it. On the plastic recycling end, there's a company called WasteX. They themselves process over 140 million tons of plastic every year. This company is worth over $46 billion as of last year, and they're projected to reach almost 90 billion value in 2030. On the end of the water, the largest desalination plant is called Ras Al Khaimah. They are in the United Emirates, and they process over 1 million cubic metric tons of water every year, and their value is at $3.5 billion currently. These funds came from, this information came from Fortune magazine. In closure, we feel this will be a great investment opportunity for a startup fund of around $430 million, based off of various risk analysis and sensitivity analysis for our project, with an increase of 4.6% per year. I would like to thank you, Professor Menon, and all of the students and my classmates in this wonderful class of Business 731. This was my first deep project this long, and I do hope you found it enjoyable and informative. Thank you, and good luck with your next term.